I'm Sarah Phillips from Phillips Law, located right here in the beautiful city of New Orleans, Louisiana. And this is Law in the Bayou, where we make the law clear, simple, and accessible so you can confidently face legal challenges. Our firm specializes in personal injury and criminal defense, and today I'm here to help answer a big question. Do you need a personal injury attorney? Ugh. After an accident, it's hard to know what to do next. Should you handle things on your own? Should you talk to your adjuster? Should you call your sister, your mom? What should you do? Or should you hire an attorney? So that's why I've put together what I hope is a simple quiz that ended up being a lot of questions, but maybe the more the merrier. So sorry for the motorcyclist downtown. Anyway, so let's get to this quiz, right? So answer these questions for me. Number one, did you sustain any injuries? Even if your injuries seemed minor at first, they can become more serious later on. For example, symptoms like headaches, neck pain, or back pain may not show up until days or weeks after an accident. This is called delayed onset symptoms, which is another video for another time. A lot of soft tissue injuries like whiplash or muscle strains, they might not seem like a big deal right away. You might think, oh, they're going to get better like in a month, but it could take months or even years if you don't handle it right the first time. So if you're dealing with pain that's lingering, this is a sign that you need to consider getting help. We'll make sure that you're compensated for both the immediate and long-term effects of your injuries, including any of those delayed symptoms which we talked about. Number two, is the insurance company offering a settlement that seems a little low to you, right? You've talked to your adjuster. I like to call her Nancy, the adjuster. We talked to her. Is what she offered you, do you feel like it's kind of a quick settlement? They're trying to put the accident behind you. You need to think, is it really enough to cover all of your expenses? So let's say that you've been offered $15,000. Whoa, that might seem like a lot, but once you add up all your medical bills, your lost wages, missing work, future treatments that you might need, that amount may barely scratch the surface. As personal injury attorneys, we dig deep to make sure that every single factor is included in your claim. This can include lost wages, that pain and suffering, future medical bills, property damage, rehabilitation costs, loss of enjoyment of life, permanent disability or disfigurement, emotional and physical trauma. So if the offer feels low, it probably is. We'll fight to make sure you're fully compensated for everything you've been through and everything you may still need to face in the future. Number three, are you unsure how to calculate the value of your claim? You're like, how do I figure out, is this a good settlement offer? Knowing what to include in your claim is one thing, but understanding the full value of each factor that we just previously discussed is a complete other thing. For example, you might know that you missed 5 days of work. You can easily calculate those 5 days that you lost in work and lost wages, right? But how do you calculate pain and suffering? How do you put a number on that? Or the ongoing medical treatment, the futures. What is it going to cost if you need physical therapy in the next 6 months or even longer? This is where having an attorney really helps. We make sure that you're not just compensated for the immediate cost, but for all the future expenses as well. We calculate everything from your current medical bills to long-term rehabilitation needs, ensuring nothing is left out of your claim. Number four, is there a dispute and who's at fault for the accident? Okay, this is kind of situation to situation, but if there's any disagreement about who caused the accident, things can get complicated pretty fast. When both parties are pointing the fingers, it's critical to gather the right evidence. This includes witness statements, police reports, or even video footage to prove what really happened. An attorney can track down this information, ensuring your side of the story is backed up by solid evidence. In situations like these, having a lawyer on your side can really make all the difference. It determines whether or not you have a claim. Number five, do you feel overwhelmed by paperwork and legal jargon? Dealing with paperwork alone after an accident can feel overwhelming, but it's not just the forms, it's all the legal terms that can sometimes make things confusing. Have you heard of comparative fault? That's what we just talked about previously. That's when both parties share some blame for the accident, and it could reduce the amount of compensation you receive depending on how fault is divided. Do you know the term statute of limitations? That's a legal deadline for filing your claim. If you miss that deadline, you may lose your chance to recover anything at all, which I need to do another video on because there's been some updates in the law in July of 2024. Don't worry about trying to figure all this out yourself. That's why we're here as attorneys. We handle the paperwork, we break down the legal terms so you can focus on recovering without stressing over these little details. Number 6, I would say, is are your injuries preventing you from working? If your injury has kept you from working, that financial strain can be really overwhelming. Missing work means missing paychecks, and that adds up quickly. As your personal injury attorney, we can make sure that lost wages are included in your claim, whether you're missing work right now or you might be unable to return to your job for the foreseeable future. You shouldn't have to struggle financially while you're trying to heal. We truly believe that you should just be focusing on yourself and getting better. Number 7 is, do you need help gathering evidence of witness statements? Let me share an example of how important evidence can be. We recently had a client who was T-boned at an intersection. They were the only witnesses. It was just her and the other driver who denied fault, which, by the way, it was a 17-year-old driver, probably on his phone. It was a typical he said, she said situation, and the police got to the scene and they really couldn't determine who was at fault, right? He was saying one thing, she was saying another. But after our client hired us, we looked at all the evidence and determined where the accident happened was actually across from a hospital that had cameras. So we were able to work with the police, get warrants to get that video footage to show that the teenager actually ran the light and hit our client. And that video evidence was absolutely critical. And I don't think just having an insurance company, I don't think that they would have gone above and beyond talking to the NOPD to get that video footage of the situation. So it's really that kind of thorough investigation that we do behind the scenes for you to make sure that your case is the best that it can be. Number 8 would be, are you worried about going to court? Let's face it, no one really wants to go to court. It can be intimidating and stressful, but the good news is we love going to court. This is what we do every single day. And even if your case doesn't go to court, having an attorney by your side means that you're not navigating it alone. We'll take care of everything from filing legal documents to representing you so you don't have to worry about a thing. And then, let's see, one last thing. Number 9, I would say, is like, do you want to have peace of mind knowing that it's like in expert hands, right? At Phillips Law, we take pride in making sure our clients can sleep easy at night, knowing they've hired the best team to fight for them. Our mission is to handle the legal complexities, the paperwork, and evidence gathering so that you can focus on getting better. We have your back every step of the way, ensuring you're taken care of from start to finish. So, now that I've kind of come up with those 9 questions, what are your answers reveal? So kind of like, I hope that you wrote down, maybe you can go back and watch the video. I don't know. I have a blog on this. We'll talk about it later. So if you answered yes to most of these questions, then yes, 100% you need to handle this with a personal injury attorney. If you answered mostly no, your case might be straightforward, but it's still worth a free consultation to make sure you're not missing anything important. And I would say if it's a mix of yes and no's, it's a good idea to still get some expert advice. Sometimes getting a second opinion can really make all the difference in a world. So remember, you can contact us at 504-434-7000 for that free consultation so we can look over everything for you, just so we can give you that peace of mind, right? Number 9. So I will link the blog article that I created kind of with this video down below if you're watching this in YouTube. If not, then you can go on our blog resources. It'll be quiz, do you need a personal injury attorney? If you want any more resources, look us up at www.nolacriminaldefense.com. And thank you so much for watching Law on the Bayou. We really love doing these videos, and if you have any questions, just let us know and we'll be happy to answer that. Remember, you want it, you need it, you deserve the best representation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.